let's start with the most somber subject we don't like to talk about, and that's remembering the fallen. I wear this Brian Strauss shirt as often as I can. Brian was my class commander. I sat with him in the academy every day for 6 months. Brian gave his heart, blood, sweat, tears, and unfortunately his life to the members of Pilsen, trying to make that community better. And I think it's pretty apropos in this environment. The Pilsen community every year celebrates the memorial for Brian on the site of his death. 19 years and counting right now, because they were grateful for the police and Brian and his effort and what he actually ended up giving, sacrificing his life to help their neighborhood become a little bit better and safer. So, in behalf of Brian and obviously the 3 officers we lost in the line of duty today or this year to COVID, how about a moment of silence, please? Let's remember the fallen first. Okay, so now it's a little hot in this black shirt. So. Let's go with the shirt that matters. Now, we know in this environment, it's supposed to be a civilized society. There is nothing civilized about what's been going on in this city for the last 8 weeks or longer, specifically. I mean, it's been going downhill pretty quick, but it really jumped off the cliff at the beginning of, well, May 29th, specifically. Thank you to the men and women in blue out here. You were out here Thursday night. That wall right back there. 8 days ago, we had 52 officers hurt that were surrounded. As I said on the radio yesterday, we are not obligated to take aggravated batteries as part of a condition of employment and just stand there and do nothing about it. We are not obligated to take bricks to the head, fireworks to the face, or anything otherwise. But yet, all those officers destroyed the narrative that all the police do is shoot unarmed black men. It's bullshit. It doesn't happen. Not a single shot was fired, even though you could legally justify several of those protesters getting shot for what they were doing that night. But discretion proved the better part of valor. So I want to applaud not only those 52 that got hurt, but everyone else that didn't for the restraint they showed that night. One of the ways we're going to change this narrative, and this is specifically to law enforcement, is to show a little more discretion. Be a little more, human, and have a little more humility. I'm not telling you don't be the police. Do your job, because the last thing we can do, and I've had this argument, and I can remember clear as day, the last couple summers at police softball. And the argument is always, screw it. Let them have the streets. Don't do a thing. I understand that dynamic, because you just get so fed up, it's not worth it. But you get the other pushback is, hell no. You give up, then they get the streets, and they win. And they can't win. That's the result of when they win. That's the inch. And then it becomes a foot, then it becomes a yard, then it becomes a football field, then it becomes the whole damn city. And this ain't going to become Detroit while I'm alive, I'm telling you. It's not. Law and order is what defines a civilized society. It really does. So, on that note, even though this is a Back the Blue rally, the best way at this point to back the blue is with the political process. We need to push back on the politicians that are absolutely ruining this city, county, and state. At the FOP, which I am humbled to be the president of, to represent 18,000 members, it's really an honor to have that position and to have that voice right now. But we are absolutely dedicated to making the Political Action Committee at the FOP a force to be reckoned with. We got a couple candidates up here today, obviously, that we're seriously going to endorse, and we want to try and affect change. One of the biggest changes that we can do is register to vote. Not only yourself, your family members. We need numbers. Numbers make the difference. We are the motivated crew. If we get the numbers to register, it will show up at the ballot box. And the biggest election, bar none, specific to what we're here for today, is Kim Foxx. This Cook County system. So everybody knows this Cook County system is broke. It goes all the way from Preckwinkle right down to Fox, Tim Evans, Tom Dart, all of them. They got to go. Well, that's a fight for another day. We're talking about the justice system. I can't harp on it enough. We really have an opportunity here to take Kim Foxx out of office once and for all, and to shut shut that whole side down once and for all. It'll send a strong message, and it really will, going forward. This needs to piggyback. It needs to be the beginning of a movement. That statue, even if you're not Italian, should be the symbol of, you look back and remember what triggered the overthrow of the democratic machine and the liberalism in this city. That needs to be the symbol going forward. I want to thank everybody for taking your time to come out here today. It's hot, it's miserable, but we want to make this a reoccurring theme. This isn't going to be a one-time event. These need to get bigger and bigger and bigger. To the good citizens who are not the police, thank you. And family members. You sacrifice a lot by letting your loved ones wear the badge and go to work every night. So it's not an easy thing. Obviously, in this environment, it's sad to say you don't know if they're going to come home at all or if they're going to come home injured. Keep in mind the 52 officers that were hurt. One of them is still in danger of losing his eyesight, and he's a real stand-up guy. We have some phenomenal bosses on this job. There's been some changes. I am a fan of Superintendent Brown, I will say. I think as a man, he's a pretty stand-up guy. He's been through a lot in his life. I don't always agree with everything, and vice versa. But I can tell you, I think he's trying to do right by the men and women of this department. We need to support him as much as we can. He is not the mayor. He does bring a little bit of Texas with him, and you know what that means. Justice. He really does. We need to keep continuing to get our message out, not only in the city, but the surrounding suburbs. Cook County is almost a lost cause at this point for trying to outthrow the Democrats, but we can make some serious dents in the surrounding suburbs within the county confines to get these elected officials into office and start changing this dynamic. Dave keeps holding up this sign. The mayor seems to think I have political aspirations, so I just thought it'd be a little funny jab. No, I'm not running for mayor.
Run for mayor, Johnny!
Again, the hypocrisy, and just to keep these things in mind. And these are little points that need to be harped on again and again and again in your private conversations when you leave here today with family, friends, etc. We need to keep repeating the message as often as it takes to affect the change we need. This isn't a black, white, brown issue. This is a simple right and wrong. Civilized society and the mob. So again, thank you for coming out. I'm going to turn it over to the next guy, which I think. If you're illegally parked, I understand the tow trucks are on site. That's another way the mayor is going to start messing with people because she's such a pleasant little individual. All right, who's the next speaker? Where are we going? Pat? All right, Pat O'Brien's going to be the next speaker. He is the guy who's going to take Kim Foxx out of office with your